गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन। बहुत क्लीशे होगा ये कहना कि आज के हमारे गेस्ट को किसी भी तरह के इंट्रोडक्शन की ज़रूरत नहीं है, बट आई कांट हेल्प एंड से दिस अबाउट हिम कि आज के हमारे गेस्ट को किसी भी इंट्रोडक्शन की ज़रूरत नहीं है। तमाम भारतीय लेखक या अध्यापक इनको कोट किए बिना भारतीय समाज पे ना तो किताब लिख पाते हैं ना अपने लेक्चर ले पाते हैं। अगर आरएसएस को पढ़ना हो, कास्ट को पढ़ना हो, हिंदुत्व की पॉलिटिक्स को समझना हो, तो एक शाहरुख खान के शब्दों में एक ही नाम, एक ही आपको दिखाई देता और सुनाई देता है, प्रोफेसर क्रिस्टोफ जेफरलो। आई वेलकम यू, आपका स्वागत है। उनकी किताबों के बिना शायद सबके बुक शेल्फ अधूरे हैं, जो भी इन सारी चीज़ों पे बात करना चाहता है। तो हमारे साथ है प्रोफेसर क्रिस्टोफ जेफरलो, वेलकम, जो एक साउथ एशिया के विशेषज्ञ हैं, एक्सपर्ट हैं। वो एक राजनीति शास्त्री हैं। उनका एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट मोस्टली साउथ दक्षिण एशिया है, जिसमें प्रमुख तौर पर भारत और पाकिस्तान है। क्रिस्टोफ दक्षिण एशियाई राजनीति और इतिहास के प्रोफेसर हैं साइंस पो पेरिस में। वो भारतीय राजनीति और समाजशास्त्र के प्रोफेसर हैं किंग्स कॉलेज लंदन में, और वो रिसर्च डायरेक्टर या शोध निदेशक हैं सेंट्रे नेशनल de la रिसर्च साइंटिफिक में। मेरे लिए अपने आप में प्रोफेसर क्रिस्टोफ जेफरलो एक नॉलेज ट्रेडिशन है, and it's a privilege that he's joining us today. Thank you, Professor Jaffrelot, for joining us. The structure of the show would be, we'll have a 40-minute keynote talk by Professor Jaffrelot on Mandrel Politics, and then that would be followed by a Q&A.
तो मैं दर्शकों को समझा दूं जो सौम्या ने स्ट्रक्चर बताया हिंदी में एक बार, कि स्ट्रक्चर जो रहेगा शो का, उसमें एक कीनोट सेशन या लेक्चर या प्रेजेंटेशन आप कह सकते हैं, वो रहेगा प्रोफेसर क्रिस्टोफ का, और उसके बाद मैं और सौम्या कुछ सवाल जवाब करेंगे। तो मैं चाहता हूं कि इसको हम आगे बढ़ाएं। सौम्या, आप शुरू करें।
As I said again, it's a privilege to have you on the show. I welcome you to do your presentation.
Thank you. So let me first thank you for inviting me to speak about the Mandrel moment, because this anniversary, the 30th anniversary of the decision by Prime Minister VP Singh to implement the Mandrel report, is rather ignored this year, this month, August 2020. Exactly 30 years after this decision was made. And I think it's a missed opportunity, because we have a lot to learn from what has happened since then. And I would like to introduce my presentation by returning to this process that I have called a silent revolution. I have taken the liberty to present the covers of the Indian edition as well as the British edition of the book I dedicated to this post-Mandrel scenario. This process, this silent revolution, was both a political and a social moment. It was social because, of course, the objective was to expand the reservations to plebeians who needed some help for being emancipated, and that's what happened to some extent. I'll begin with this in my presentation. And that was a political movement, of course, also because in reaction to this quota of 20% that VP Singh gave to OBCs, we saw upper caste demonstrating in the street. And in reaction to this reaction, lower caste OBCs stopped voting for upper caste candidates, mobilized, you can say counter-mobilized, in such a way that they built a common front. And that was completely new. OBCs had never formed a vote, you can say a vote bank in the previous decades. And that resulted immediately in some transformation of the Indian parliament. The Lok Sabha, that was dominated by upper caste MPs for decades, forever, suddenly saw an inflow of rustic OBC members of parliament, the percentage of OBC MPs in the Indie Belt only jumped from 11% in 1984 to more than 20 in the 90s, and it remained very much above 20% in the 90s. At the same time, the percentage of upper caste MPs dropped from 47% in 1984 to less than 40%, and even 33% only in 2004, when the OBCs reached the 25% mark. So there was a social dimension in this process. There was a political dimension too, and that's something that found expression not only in the social profile of the Lok Sabha, but also in some policies. And the Congress-led coalition that took over in 2004, the UPA, not only had more OBC MPs on its side, but also implemented new kinds of policies, including what has been known as Mandrel 2. Mandrel 2 was this decision by the UPA government to reserve a 27% quota for OBCs in public universities. And as a result of that, we could see that's what the AISHE report of 2015-2016 shows, that the OBCs represented gradually more than 33% of the students in the public universities. So a real transformation, a transformation that 30 years later needs to be revisited. What is left? What is left of the Mandrel moment, politically as well as socially? Well, I will look at both things. The decline of OBC politics, and I'll try to explain it, and the achievement, the successes, as well as possibilities of a kind of boomeranging effect, showing that OBC politics may not be dead. Well, why has OBC politics declined first? Well, it has declined because a revolution, the silent revolution I've just mentioned, brought on a counter-revolution. A counter-revolution that you can also call a revenge of the elite. And the vanguard of this revenge was BJP and Hindutva nationalism at large, because BJP had never been in favor of reservations, at least not caste-based reservations. They were more in favor of Adarpar, socio-economic based reservations. The organizer, the mouthpiece of RSS, in 1990, when VP Singh implemented the Mandrel report, had said that this was really bad for the unity of the Hindus, and that would indeed be, as they said, a Shudra revolution. Therefore, the upper caste continued to rally behind BJP, and they were overrepresented among the BJP voters for a long time. But of course, an upper caste dominated BJP could not win a majority in parliament. And the resistance, the counter-revolution, if you want, that the BJP represented, epitomized, could only culminate and fructify and win final elections when Narendra Modi took over in 2014. And that's what I consider as the alchemy behind the Modi phenomenon. An RSS man who belongs to an OBC Jati. This is, of course, a first. Never before had the BJP been in a position to present as prime ministerial material someone who would collapse both dimensions, Hindutva plus an OBC background. And that's probably the main reason why Narendra Modi could win over OBC voters and to bring the OBC politics in the background. I mean, in the margin of Indian politics. He was in a position to articulate an identity politics, Hindu nationalism, that transcended caste identities in the name of Hindu unity and its fight against the Islamic threat. And this, of course, was made easier because Narendra Modi could present himself as a self-made man, a former Chaivala, a backward caste person. He used these words, at least in Bihar, when he was canvassing in 2014. But a man who had never been in favor of caste-based reservations. So he was, for the middle class of India, for the Hindu upper caste middle class, the perfect antidote to Mandrel. And that was one of the reasons why they supported him so fully, and more importantly, why, in spite of a large number of OBCs voting for Narendra Modi, the 2014 election marked the consolidation of the elite revenge and the way this could stage a comeback, for instance, in parliament. So in 2014, you could see the percentage of upper caste members of parliament increasing tremendously. Well, it had already increased in 2019, but it continued to become very important. This is something we showed with my colleagues of Ashoka University in a database called SPINPER, Social Profile of India's National and Provincial Elected Representatives. And you can, of course, surf on the website of this joint enterprise, because this is Ashoka and Sciences Po, my university, which are behind this. So you see the Mandrel moment finishing in 2019, 2014, with the percentage of OBC MPs coming from the Indie belt back to what it was almost in the 1980s. The Mandrel moment was over, and that was largely due to the profile of the Lok Sabha BJP MPs. BJP had a very large number of upper caste MPs returned in the Indie belt, almost 40, more than 45%, when only 20% of the BJP MPs were on the BJP side in the Indie belt. So that's the first reason why the OBC politics that was still there under the UPA in the early 2000s somewhat died or declined. Hindutva took over, and Hindutva took over with an OBC prime minister who was in a position to articulate both some OBC politics and, of course, Hindu nationalism. That is something that was true in the Indie belt. That is something that was even more true at an all India level, where the percentage of upper caste among the BJP MPs is still high, 36.3% in 2019. So the underrepresentation of OBCs on the BJP side remains very significant. Less than 19% of the BJP MPs at an all India level come from the OBCs. But Hindutva politics and and the social background of Modi are not the only reason why Obc politics floundered in the 2010s. There are other explanations, and one of them is the way Narendra Modi also tried to submerge and effectively submerged caste politics in the name of development. In the name of development and in the name of class, by presenting himself as the defender of the neo-middle class. So the neo-middle class is a formula that he coined himself in 2012 during the Gujarat state elections. And this neo-middle class for Modi was made of the young, mostly young migrants to the city who were now benefiting from the economic growth, who were by jobs, urban jobs in the industry, as well as in the services. Of course, these jobs were unstable, badly paid, but still, they usually enabled the former peasants to improve their living conditions. And he therefore embarked on a middle class repertoire, saying, forget about your class, forget about your caste, you are now on the rise, emerging. And this is why the group and the review was called by him neo-middle class, a middle class in the making. This class-based repertoire had nothing to do with socialism. Socialists look at class relations in a different way. On the contrary, in fact, the way the notion of middle class was articulated was based on merit, and the repertoire, this merit-based repertoire, was in any case gaining momentum since 1991, since the 1981 reform. It became gradually hegemonic, but under the Congress-ruled, Congress-led UPA, it was somewhat balanced by some socio-economic, some, you can say, social-democratic policies, including the Mandrel II. That was not the case anymore under the BJP government after 2014. So if Modi, for the two reasons I've mentioned, has somewhat sealed the fate of Obc politics, you can also argue that he gave the final blow, but that the Obc politics was suffering from weaknesses. You can say even inner weaknesses for quite some time already. And these weaknesses were of two kinds. One, the unity that you could see on the Obc side in the 1990s was based on, politically, on one point only, quota, the 27% quota. And the parties representing the OBCs, Samajwadi Party, Rashtriya Janata Dal, could attract voters, OBC voters, by saying, vote for me, you'll get more reservations. You'll get reservations. The problem is that once the center and the state governments had implemented these reservations, there was no more promise that could be made. Because once you got your reservations, there was no further common objective for the OBCs. That was one weakness. Another weakness was, of course, the very paradoxical impact of OBC politics. Some OBC Jaatis, subcaste, benefited from it more than others. And therefore, reservations have created inequalities and even divisions within the OBCs. Now, if you take the case of the Yadavs, which are the most dominant OBC caste groups in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, we know that they have benefited more than others, more than other OBC groups from reservations. And we can infer that from the results of the Indian Human Development Survey that shows that more than 14% of Yadavs occupy a salaried job, and that's much more than any other OBC Jati, Kurmis, Telis, Kushwahas, Lodis. So you have an indication that there was a kind of Yadavization of the public sphere in UP and Bihar. And that was something that alienated other OBCs. And Samajwadi Party could be seen as a Yadav party, and RJD could be seen as a Yadav party, to such a way that other OBCs started to somewhat resent the Yadav's domination. And in Bihar, as early as 1994, Kurmis followed Nitish Kumar and started their own parties. In Uttar Pradesh, the kind of flourishing trajectory that the Yadavs embraced helped the BJP to mobilize those who resented the Yadav domination. Non-Yadav Jatis were consolidated and started to vote together for the BJP the moment the BJP was shrewd enough to nominate non-Yadav OBC candidates during the elections, state elections, as well as Lok Sabha elections. For instance, in 2019, during the Lok Sabha elections, poor OBCs voted more from the BJP than for the BSP-SP alliance. And that was very clearly due to the fact that BJP had given more tickets to the candidates coming from these small Jatis. Of course, these small, somewhat poor Jatis of OBCs rallied around the BJP also because there was a kind of craze for Sanskritization, for being accepted by the Hindu-I tradition, something Yadavs are not cultivating the same way. But the result is, and that's a fascinating graph that we made in the framework of SPINPER with my colleagues of Ashoka University, the result was that for the first time in 2014, the members of parliament of the Indie Belt who belong to the OBCs were coming more from small, poor OBC Jatis than from the usual suspects, including Yadavs. And that's the result also of this big weakness of the OBC politics, the divisions between the, you can say, upper OBCs and lower OBCs. So, is game over? Is OBC politics something of the past, something that cannot be reactivated? Well, yes and no. You can say no if you consider that it has not delivered, and therefore it has some future because there is much more to achieve. It's not because you give a quota that the quota is filled up. And if you look at different sources, you can see that 30 years after, there are still many sites of power where OBCs are just and absent or massively underrepresented. Look at this table showing where are OBCs among the university teachers. 0 professor, 0 associate professor, You find them at the level of associate professor, where they represent 19.20% of the post, which means that they only represent 5.8% of the teaching post in the Indian university. But that's only one group. Look at the larger picture. Look at the central government services at large. OBCs certainly are now representing more people than scheduled caste. And that's a recent development. Till 2012, the number of Dalits was still higher. But we look at percentages and not at numbers, because that's what is very revealing. And the Handbook on Social Welfare Statistics of 2018 tells us that in 2014, we don't have any source, we don't have any data since then. The OBCs represented only 18% of the central government services. Of course, it's much better than what it used to be. In 10 years, the percentage has been multiplied by more than 3, but still, it's 10 percentage points less than the 27% that were promised in 1990. And if you look at the disaggregated figures, these 18+% are mostly in the group C. The A category, can say mostly the upper caste of the bureaucrats, is the place where OBCs are the most underrepresented, 11.77% only. And they are also underrepresented in the B category. So the gap between what is the quota like and how filled it is really substantial. That's something you can also see on this graph, but it's a bit redundant with the previous table. The only place where you can say that OBCs are represented in proportion to the demographic strength is in the central public sector enterprises, where they represent something like 28.5% of the employees. But this percentage has to be looked in the context of the shrinking of the Indian state. There are less and less jobs in the central public sectors and enterprises. And therefore, with 7.5 lakh posts vacant in the public sector, and the privatization process reducing the number of jobs in the public sector at large, you can see that, in fact, in terms of numbers, the OBCs are less and less numerous. They have peaked in 2011-2012 when they reached 230,000 people, that 23.5 lakh. That has been reduced in 2013-2014 to 23.38, and the trend is probably continuing, because privatizations are reducing the number of jobs reserved and will continue to reduce the number of jobs reserved. Last May, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced, along with the fifth and last tranche of the second COVID crisis-related stimulus package, that now there'll be a policy, a new, as they say, public sector enterprises policy that would result in privatization. A list of strategic sectors will be notified but there'd be no more than 4 public sector enterprises. The rest would be merged or privatized. So Mandrel has not delivered, and that's, of course, a very important point to make in terms of access to the bureaucracy, especially the A and B categories have still few OBC people in their midst. And in the public enterprises, the percentage is fine, but the numbers are not, because of the decline of the number of jobs in public sector enterprises. Which means, and I will stop there, that 30 years after what VP Singh announced the implementation of the Mandrel report, certainly OBC politics has lost its appeal vis-à-vis Hindutva and the neo-middle class politics. It has also declined because of the divisions of the OBCs along party lines as well as Jati lines. But OBCs may feel the need to mobilize again because quotas are not filled and the number of jobs is shrinking. Last but not least, such mobilization may be even more justified in the eyes of OBC leaders if dominant caste, Patels, Jaats, Marathas, Kapurs, are recognized as OBCs. They are asking for this recognition, for this classification, because they are also suffering, some of them at least, in villages. And therefore, there'll be more competition for reservations if such large caste groups are included in the OBCs. But even if that doesn't happen, the figures I've just given may be sufficient for justifying some mobilization 30 years after around the OBC politics that is possibly not dead. And I'll stop on that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Jaffrelot, for the presentation. We have a couple of questions for you. So my first question, because we were just discussing Yogendra Yadav and the translation to your book, my question is that Yogendra Yadav, in one of his papers in India seminar titled Ambedkar and Lohya, a dialogue on caste, mentions, I quote, Lohya, instead of debunking mythologies vis-a-vis Ramayana and Mahabharata, preferred a retelling of these stories. Lohya engaged with the deities and other mythological characters with unabashed admiration, and yet from an avowedly atheist position that reserved the right to be irreverent and critical. At the same time, in the South, such a defense against BJP is put forth using Dravidian icons, which has not happened in the North. With this in mind, do you think that perhaps we need both Lohya and Ambedkar to help us negotiate the dilemma of politics and policies of social justice in contemporary India, which is also backed by a syncretic culture narrative while countering the BJP? How do we go about imagining this change?
Yeah, that's an interesting proposition. By the way, Ambedkar and Lohya were in very good terms. Never forget that there was a correspondence between these two men. They were very much respecting each other and learning from each other. The kind of socialism Lohya was following was perfectly compatible with Ambedkarism. Ambedkar was, quote unquote, allergic to communism, to Marxism, because he did not believe in class only, and the communists insisted that class was the unit of analysis that they would stick to. On the contrary, of course, Lohya factored in caste as a major element of Indian society, the most important element of society in India, and he was not the only one. And Narendra Dev and many other socialists did it. So yes, these two personalities could be seen as the two faces of a coin, that would be for equality, and at the same time for traditions, quote unquote. Traditions in the sense that Loya, for instance, and Yogendra Yadav insist on the same thing, wanted Hindi to be the language of the state, the language of well, the administration, because that was the language of the people. And this is, if you want, a tradition that could be perpetuated or amplified to make sure that equality is not somewhat inaccessible to the non-English speaking plebeians. But you know, that's why I think RPI and Socialist, BSP and SP could certainly join hands in a much more substantial fashion. But you need thinkers for that, and politicians these days have absolutely no interest in ideas.
Well, I hope the politicians somehow go back to these thinkers and somehow able to join hands.
That, while we were listening to your presentation, you talked about the reduction of jobs in public sector. You talked about the increase of or the generation of a discrimination inside the OBC category among the castes there. But because Mandrel Commission thing, the whole recommendations which were implemented, the list of recommendations implemented. So it started off as a political movement. It never started off as a social movement. So where the idea of equality was just a representation, it was at the core of it. But after 30 years of the movement, so where you ended your presentation, we talked about where it is now. It's substantively remained within the political sphere only and has not been enough, recognized, popularized, or even organized at the societal level. Yeah. Do you think this is the case? And one is, do you think, is it like that? And if it is so, how do we overcome this situation, or how do we understand this? So why it happened, how it can be changed?
Yeah. No, it's a very important point, because when we look at affirmative action, positive discrimination, we are not looking at massive social changes. No, the Mandrel Commission report was not aiming at an employment scheme. Everybody knew that the number of people who would be benefiting from this would be very small. So it was not a mass transformation. It was not intended to be one. Positive discrimination tries to create an elite group within plebeians in order to create leaders, in order to create role models, in order to create spokespersons. VP Singh was saying, what we want is people from the OBCs in the corridor of power, because in the corridor of power, you can help your community. Incidentally, that is what has happened on the Dalit side. Why have Mahars and Jaatavs succeeded so well in, for instance, the bureaucracy now? You can see that the percentage of Dalits in the A class of the bureaucracy is almost proportional to their demographic weight. Because of this creation of an elite group. So that is not yet there on the OBC side. OBCs do not have generated this kind of elite group that could show the way, that could speak for their people. And I think there are many reasons for that. One of them is, yes, as you say, it's more political than social, and it's somewhat instrumentalized politically for electoral purposes, and therefore it stops short on the social dimension. But I think there are other reasons. One of the reasons is that OBCs do not feel the stigma of caste the way Dalits do. So this idea that you are somewhat accountable to those who are still in what Ambedkar called the Dalit ghetto, to those who have been left behind, is not as such as for the most committed Dalit activists you can see. That's, I think, the OBC identity is very fuzzy compared to the Dalit identity in that sense, in terms of caste. And secondly, it's not similar also because the divisions between OBCs is probably even more palpable. You know, the differences between the rich and the poor, between dominant Jatis and poor Jatis are so large. You know, how do you make a group out of it? You know, how do you make these people follow a similar line, converge? They converge when they have to fight for one very specific issue. In the 1990s, they had to fight together for this quota. But the moment they got it, divisions prevailed, and Kurmis and Yadavs fell apart in Bihar, for instance. But that was true elsewhere. So I don't know if I responded to your question, but there is certainly a difference between reservations and social redistribution, a mass movement. But even as a kind of non-mass oriented movement, the reservations under Mandrel somewhat failed to create the avant-garde that should have been the result of this project. It's a work in progress. It may happen. It's not yet there. For Dalits, it took decades. It took 50 years, really.
Can we I just I would like to make a point. Can we also the points you made? So can we get one small point out of that there's a bigger difference between the Dalit and OBC politics is Dalits having their icon or an ideal to follow as Ambedkar, while Ambedkar is not present in that manner in the OBC politics. Is it so?
Yeah. No, definitely. It plays a role. Symbolically, it plays a role. On the OBC side, of course, you have Pule, you have Shahu Maharaj, you have Periyar, but they are more regional icons. They are not pan-Indian icons. But I would not overestimate the impact of Ambedkar in terms of unifying the Dalits. You know, there is something very similar, in fact, on the Dalit side compared to the OBCs. I mentioned the way non-Yadav OBCs resented the domination of the Yadavs in Uttar Pradesh. Well, you can say the same thing vis-a-vis the non-Jaatav Dalits. No, non-Jaatav Dalits resent the domination of the Jaatavs in UP very similarly. They are not Ambedkarites. You know, they may pay lip service to Ambedkar, but they don't want to join hands with the Ambedkarites of BSP, and for the same reasons as the non-Yadavs who will not vote for SP but for BJP because of Sanskritization. Once again, Balmikis, for instance, would prefer to be on the BJP side for this, and secondly because the upper caste may be easier to rally around than the local Jaatavs. for Balmikis, for Katiks, for so many castes which are left behind, which are resenting the domination of the Jaat. You see the problem of reservations. Reservations are cornered by few Jaatis on the OBC side as well as on the Dalit side. And therefore, there is almost automatically a division within the Dalits and the OBCs. And now we should invent a system, a quota within the quota, to make sure that the Dalits, the OBCs, whose Jaatis, whose families have never benefited from reservations, could have access to that. And it's a very difficult process, but some initiatives have been taken.
Maybe maybe that is why politicians are scared of going into this much of complicated process. Soumya.
Exactly, and rightly so. It's fair enough. Another reason why it is difficult to go in this direction is in the case of the Dalits. You remove the reservations, you're not sure that the stigma does not continue even vis-a-vis middle-class Dalits. It's not so easy to say, oh, your father was IAS, you don't deserve reservations. Because even if you're educated, even if you are rich, quote unquote, you may still be affected by the stigma. So you can't say, okay, now you are part of the creamy layer. Creamy layer cannot apply on the Dalit side as well as on the OBC.
On now the question on the creamy layer itself, so when the Indraswani judgment came, Professor, the Janata Dal's main bone of contention was with the size of the agriculture holdings. And perhaps in doing so, the Mandrel movement maybe became the spokesman of the middle class peasants, as we have rightly discussed, like Yadavs, thereby rendering the dominant caste, the Marathas, the Patidars, or the Jaats, at somehow at the loggerhead with the Mandrel politics. And in the last few years, we have seen the Patidar movement, we have seen in Maharashtra the Maratha movement, and we have several times from Haryana, we have heard the voice of the Jaats. How do we understand the changing dynamic of these dominant castes? I think that was also your last point on your conclusion. These dominant castes vis-a-vis the reservation politics.
Yes, that's a very important point also. The problem is that caste and class do not coincide as much as they used to. We used to consider that dominant caste did not deserve reservations because they were dominant. And they were dominant in the village because of their numbers, because of the land they had. Well, after so many years of crisis of the Indian agriculture, dominant castes are not as affluent as they used to be. To be a farmer in many parts of India is not at all a guarantee of being affluent or even, sufficiently rich for perpetuating farming and the young farmers or the sons of farmers don't want to do this job anymore for good reasons. It's more and more difficult. So we have now a differentiation, a socio-economic differentiation within the Patels, within the Marathas, within the Jaat, within the Kapur, which means that the poor members of this caste are in fact less affluent than the rich Dalits, the Dalits benefiting from reservations, and of course some OBCs who are also sometimes more affluent. So of course they say, why don't we get reservations too?
True.
And that's something, of course, very complicated indeed, because the numbers are astonishing, and there are few jobs anyway. But again, some mechanism has to be invented, because you can't rely on caste only when you have class within caste. When you see caste and class coinciding less and less, and these are good news in the sense that, yes, some Dalits are better off because of reservations, but of course, for those who are at the receiving end, among the villagers of Gujarat, Maharashtra, or elsewhere, there is a sense of unfairness, a sense of injustice that needs to be addressed.
Oh, so what I'm hearing is that some of the Marathas and Patidars have lesser income as compared to the creamy or the upper caste of the Dalits. Is that?
Yes, in fact, we have made this point with one of my colleagues, Kalai Arasan, on the basis of the India's Human Development Survey, IHRD. This is, IHDS. That's the only survey we can use for that. I mean, the most reliable source we can use for that. It's astonishing when you compare the last round, 2011-2012, and the previous one, 2004-2005. You see how the poor of the middle caste are lagging behind, and the upper deciles of Dalits and OBCs are catching up.
Yeah.
And these data are 10 years old, because, as you know, we don't have data. We just don't have data. And we'll have to wait for the next round of the IHDS. But the trend has continued, probably, because farming is not delivering. Over the last 10 years, we saw farming not delivering as much as urban jobs. So we have this challenge and this disconnect between caste and class that is new.
So you discussed of Kalaiya Rasan, and so I want to talk about Tamil Nadu. Okay. Because Tamil Nadu has been a very interesting case study since the Hindu nationalist movement has risen in India, and since last 6 years, the ruling regime, the ruling party, and the so understood supreme leader has been trying to convey to Tamilians that he is a subaltern who loves Tamil language. And so Kalaiya-san, I was a few days ago, I was reading one of his interviews where he said that the Tamils know that this is some sort of an effort to create not just it's not about the Brahminical hegemony, but it's about the linguistic thing, which has affected more the way they have evolved in last 100 years. So they are basically, because it's not about the caste thing, they are scared of the enforcement of languages, that Hindu thing which BJP reiterates. So do you think that is it because of the Periyar movement which has prevailed across the Tamil society, or is it just the language thing, or is it a mix of both?
Well, a mix of both, but of course, language is in that particular case a symbol, a representation of culture at large. The Dravidian culture identity has always resisted the Aryan, if you want, Brahminical, at least North Indian domination. So language is a proxy in that particular case for designating a cultural resistance. This resistance is also there in Kerala, clearly, But interestingly, in some parts of India, you don't see it anymore. The Northeast, for instance, is an interesting case where you can't consider that because you are not speaking Hindi, you will necessarily resist BJP and oppose BJP. In the case of Assam, in the case maybe of West Bengal, we'll see. Language is not sufficient vis-a-vis religion. And you can erode the linguistic regional identity in the name of religious conflict with the other. It's not the case clearly in Tamil Nadu and in Kerala. It's not the case also in Punjab, where again you have a kind of culture of resistance vis-a-vis Hindu nationalism. But I think it's interesting to see that it's not because you have a very strong regional linguistic identity that you have the antidote to Hindutva. No, in some cases, religion can prevail, and I think we should try to compare these case studies. Orissa is an interesting case study. In some cases, BJP is very good at finding, you can say, local interpreters. They can find local figures, local heroes, local deities to somewhat vernacularize the Hindutva ideology. They could not do it in Tamil Nadu and Kerala for the moment, and I think these are the two hardest nuts crack.
Well, okay. So now that we're talking about Hindu nationalism, and I think that's been one of the contention for past 6 years all the time, especially during the anti-CA movement. It's interesting, Professor Jaffrelot, that there was a news on Sunday, last Sunday, that a couple of people from the anti-CAA movement joined Bharatiya Janata Party. And the dominant narrative for the past 6 years has been that BJP is anti-Muslim, and that's the communal angle has been discussed so many times. At the same time, the Mandrel forces, the social justice parties, where the Muslims rallied behind, because we saw RJD having the Muslim Yadav coalition, talking about the Muslim Yadav. How do we see these parties gaining ground back from BJP when BJP is able to co-opt with the Muslims that have been always treated as the untouchables for BJP?
Well, first of all, the co-option or the co-optation process is still rather minimal. You don't see large numbers of representatives of the minorities rallying around BJP. In the case of the Muslims, mostly minorities within the minority are doing it. Bohras and Kojas in Gujarat, Shias in Lucknow. But when you look at the most reliable surveys, the CSDS survey, the NES, only 7-8% of Muslims vote for BJP. So they may have some personalities representing the minorities. It's more cosmetic than anything else. Now, how can RJD and others get these people back if they've gone? Of course, in Bihar, the question is very much topical because of the coming elections. I am now very much inclined to think that more than Obc politics or secularism, the repertoire that could work has to be socio-economic. the main divide that can operate, that can be effective, is we see the poor getting poorer. We see the divide between rural India and urban India widening. Let's speak about policies. Let's speak about taxation. Taxation is more unfair than ever before, probably in India today. Let's speak about subsidies. Who really benefits? Let's speak about the socio-economic issues. If RJD and others, including Congress, do that convincingly and relate to the people who are at the receiving end, well, they will not look at themselves as Muslims or Yadavs or Dalits or whatever. They will look at themselves as, well, people who are suffering. And the COVID-related crisis makes the number of these people larger and larger by the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you ask me what is the electoral strategy for these people, I think that's the one.
The socio-economic divide is what they should be going after. Because, Professor, you mentioned the poor becoming poorer, the urban and rural divide widening like never before. And the lockdown has actually aggravated all the miseries for the vulnerable section. It is interesting to note that whenever there's a disaster, natural or otherwise, it is the RSS cadre, the Seva Bharati, that is always on the ground, be it a flood-affected area or a resettlement area affected by riots or anything. The RSS cadre is the first to reach out. Then I feel like the RSS, as you always say, always tries to conquer the society. Not unlike the European fascism, it's not only after power. It's actually trying to conquer the society. When it always steps into that vacuum, how do the other forces that don't have a huge cadre or are still still struggling electorally, how would they able to ever compete with this mammoth of an organization?
Well, first of all, they can compete by doing the same, and nothing prevents them from being active on the ground. I mean, it's a question of dedication. Once upon a time, there was a Congress Seva Dal. Once upon a time, there was also a Gandhian movement that was very close to the people. And Congress was such a mass movement because of this social, societal commitment of activists. So that's the first response I would make. The second response, of course, is, well, we should look at this as also a way to be charitable. It's not as if social work represented an agenda for social transformation. It's more, you can say, social conservatism that it is aiming at. You diffuse tensions by helping the poorest of the poor. You do what needs to be done in cases of emergency, but you don't want more equality. You don't want public policies transforming society substantially. So that can be exposed easily. And it's not only in India, you can look everywhere. These movements are doing social work to get sympathy everywhere. Hamas, Hezbollah, Nationalism do social work a lot. And of course, they can do this, and that's my third response, when the state is not there anymore. There is another problem is social groups or social work is made by such groups because the state is not doing its job. There is a very interesting book by one of my colleagues, Tarek Tachil, showing that what the Sangh Parivar could do in Chhattisgarh could not be done in Kerala, because in Kerala there is a state. The state is doing social work. So there is much less space for organizations of that kind, for that kind of job. Of course, the state is shrinking everywhere, and that's one of the reasons why they can benefit.
Basically, it's,
Is it the...
yeah, Soumya, you were saying something.
No, I was just saying Mohan Bhagwat keeps repeating minimum government, maximum governance.
So basically, they had the socialist movement during the emergency, and after that, they used to they used a quote, they used an abbreviation that was TINA. There is no alternative. So they should basically rewrite it down, and you should use TINA. HW. There is no alternative to hard work. So the Sangh Parivar did the hard work, and now they'll have to think about that. That how much the thing Professor said, because whatever the welfare work, or if you either you call it a Seva Bharati thing, or what Jamaat Dawa does during the earthquake in Pakistan. So it's a publicity department of religious right-wing organizations, which actually has a motive of getting a regime ruling the state. But indeed, in Hindi we call it. This is very interesting. There's a very interesting term in Hindi. The work of service, the seva, they have started calling it since last few years dharmarth. So that says this is for religion. They are doing a service and they are calling it for religion. So the term they have coined in dharmarth. So Professor, I'm coming to my next question. That do you feel that there is an absence of a pan OBC solidarity as well as a pan Dalit solidarity? That is basically that can be seen as something wholly representative. There is a Yadav solidarity, there is a Kurmi solidarity, there is a Paswan solidarity. Now, since last few years, 2, 3 years, 4 years, someone like Chandrasekhar, who has formed a Bhim army, and there are a lot more people, even Jignesh Mewani, they have spoken about Dalit, Bahujan, Adivasi and Muslim unity. So do you see this as a materializing effort that can go towards the Dr. Ambedkar's concept of graded inequality somehow, which is obstructed by the because there's no unity or solidarity among the castes.
Yeah, no, this is this idea of amalgamating Dalits, OBCs, Muslims was already the idea of Kanshiram. BAMSEF stood for Backward and Minorities Employee Federation. He wanted to bring together, and he started hard. He started to do it very hard in Maharashtra in the first place, and then across India, and that is Ambedkarite.
Yeah, but the efforts of Kashiram, the dream of Kashiram has died. This is what I believe. If you see BAMSEF or the BSP.
Exactly. That disappeared after he died. I mean, the project disappeared after he died. And I think that it has something to do with what you said. This idea of graded inequality means what? It means that upper caste Muslims would not be happy to join hands with Dalits. Middle class Dalits would be more Hindutva oriented than before, and therefore would not necessarily want to join hands with Muslims. You have this constant, resilient, you can say hierarchical way of looking at society, and that makes solidarity between such groups much more difficult. That's why I really consider that the only way out is to look at socioeconomic issues are the most important ones, because if they prevail, then the identities you're mentioning recede in the background. But we are not there yet. But to connect this question with the previous question, that could well be the agenda of Congress. If Congress wants to be a mass movement again, it has to work as a social movement on the ground for the poor. And as I was saying, the poor will be more and more numerous. This crisis, the present crisis, will generate millions of poor people.
Do you think Congress is even trying it or trying it a bit? Can you see it something like that?
Yeah, well, you know, the question is, Congress is such a proteiform animal. You know, you can't say what it is. It's everything. It has always been everything. It was KM Munshi in Gujarat, and it was, of course, JP for some time in Bihar. They were together in the same party in the war period. So it has always been very complicated. Yes, the list of names could be very long.
Yeah.
True.
But if you remember when Congress was relevant, it was relevant when it followed the path Mahatma Gandhi had shown. And this is clearly the way out now for a party that is looking for an identity.
Right. Okay, this is my last question, and Mayank, I'm going to build up on a thing that we discussed. So, okay, Professor Jaffrelot, I might be like, someone might take me to task for asking this question, but the Brahminical forces have always used women's sexuality, her choices of marrying, the way the food is cooked in her kitchen, the way she raises her child, as a sort of a carrier of kind of making the caste system more robust. When they were not able to kind of use untouchability or other things, they were trying to use the women's body to or patriarchy to kind of make the caste system more robust. But the question of caste, the question of gender somehow is not the primary focus of the Mandrel politics. And so I've heard a lot of people, a lot of women who are in caste politics keep saying that the question of caste cannot be asked without the question of gender. Do you think that is why the politics of the Mandrel movement has somehow not been able to provide a counter narrative to the RSS's patriarchy, and then subsequently to the caste question?
Well, that's a very good point, because indeed you don't see much of a difference vis-a-vis the gender question across the political spectrum in India, and conservatism in that domain, in that respect, is very much there also on the OBC side. So we have a very clear, you can say, loophole in the positive discrimination policies of India. There is nothing for women except in the panchayats, except in the local bodies, as if you would like them to speak their mind politically, but you would not help them to get jobs, to get a decent salary vis-a-vis men. This is a disconnect you don't find everywhere. You know, in some countries, gender is the criterion for positive discrimination in respect to access to good jobs and to education, not in India. And that's a reflection of this conservatism that is, again, across the spectrum, one of the problems that women are facing.
But when the BJP is able to give token positions to Nirmala Sitharaman, Smriti Irani, Sushma Swaraj, late Sushma Swaraj, and so many other women, they are, despite not being able to pass the women reservation bill, refusing to pass the women reservation bill, they're still able to kind of garner the women votes, and they have reduced the women voting differences, I think, from 2014 to 2019. Are they is how do you counter that? Because they're giving like these great positions to women, but they're still token representations.
Yes, well, a minister is not necessarily a token. It's quite significant that every party, Congress, BJP, has had women as ministers, but of course this is the tip of the iceberg. This is the visible tip of the iceberg. So the number of women in parliament remains very low. My colleagues of Ashok University have made the calculation. Only 6% of MLAs are female MLAs across the assembly. Can you imagine? In some states, there is just none. 0 women in the assembly. So it shows that you may have ministers, women ministers, but that's not sufficient. The alibi is not sufficient. And beyond politics, I repeat, something has to be done in terms of gender equality in the working place, in the job market, and we are very far from that.
Lastly, when we come to the end of this thing, and I'm again coming to the Mandrel Commission recommendations, because it's, the 3 decades, 30 years. The Mandrel Commission did not just, make the recommendations about the reservation in jobs and the education sector, but there were recommendations about the social reform, restructuring, and financial and social assistance to the society. Do you think that the lack of a promising efforts towards the recommendations which were of social restructuring and focusing more on the jobs, vacancies, and the educational sector reservation has also done a lot bad to the whole movement?
Yes, no, you're right to recall that and remind us that Mandal was not only about jobs, and it was only one fraction of the report. The ambition was much larger, and that's why, by the way, it was so important to give reservations to OBCs in the universities as well, because after some time it became very clear that there would be no way for the OBCs to get jobs if they did not get the right degrees. And that's what Arjun Singh and the UP government did eventually. That's Mandal too. So it was not only jobs, it was also education. And it was indeed this idea that the whole ecosystem had to change. And some of the policies that could have been pushed, indeed, as you say, have to do with financing. For instance, there is this big problem of becoming an entrepreneur. How can Dalits, how can OBCs become entrepreneurs? They need access to loans. They need access to banking services. There is this fantasy of the Dalit entrepreneur. There is a Dalit Chamber of Commerce. No, the Dalits who can make it are a minuscule minority.
Yes.
And when they can do it, it's really a remarkable achievement. It's even less on the OBC side to some extent, because of the fact that reservations are much more recent. So yes, policies should not stop with reservations if the objective is more equality and more redistribution. And all the policies making it possible for Dalits, for OBCs to have access to education, to develop their own enterprises, all this should be part of the budget in the first place, because that's something that should be part of the budget. There is hardly any debate in the Parliament of India on this. It's one of the issues which is easily forgotten. That's one of the things that should be on the agenda of the opposition if they took socio-economic issues seriously.
थैंक यू प्रोफेसर जेफरलो सारे सवालों के जवाब देने के लिए, इतना बेहतरीन प्रेजेंटेशन और डेटा को हमारे सामने लाने के लिए, जिसको देख के शायद सरप्राइज नहीं होना चाहिए, फिर भी होता है। सरप्राइज, शॉक दोनों चीजें होती है कि 30 साल बाद भी आज हम इस तरह का डेटा देख रहे हैं हमारी यूनिवर्सिटीज में, हमारे एमपीज और एमएलएस के प्रोफाइलिंग में, हर तबके में, कि रिजर्वेशन ने काम किया है पर कहीं ना कहीं कुछ मिसिंग भी रहा है। शुक्रिया उन सारी चीज़ों, उन पहलुओं पे प्रकाश डालने के लिए। हमारे शो का जैसे का नाम है जात ना जात, रैदास के एक दोहे से आता है, जात जात में जात है, जस केलन के पात, रैदास न मानुष बन सके जब तक जात ना जात। हमने कुछ सोच के इसको अपने शो का टाइटल दिया था। हम बार बार इस बारे में बात करना चाहते हैं, थोड़ा लेयर्स के उसमें जाना चाहते हैं कि कैसे जाति को पहले समझें। अगर हम जाति को समझ पाएंगे, जाति व्यवस्था को, और जाति व्यवस्था पे किस तरह का काम हुआ है पिछले 70 सालों में इंडिपेंडेंस के, उसके बाद हम शायद उस जगह पहुंच पाएंगे जहां हम जाति को हटाने की या जाति से रिड या फिर उससे दूर होने की पॉलिटिक्स की तरफ बढ़ सकते हैं। पर जब तक हम इक्वालिटी और जाति व्यवस्था को इस तरह से अंदर से नहीं तोड़ पाएंगे, मुझे लगता ना समझ पाएंगे, तब तक हमें उस तक हम जा पाएंगे। तो इसलिए हम इस शो को डिस्कस करते आए और हमारे साथ आज प्रोफेसर जेफरलो थे उस कड़ी में, और आपने जैसे देखा किस तरह से हमने कई चीज़ों को डिस्कस किया। तो मैं उनके कही हुई कई चीज़ों को, उनमें से 3 प्रमुख बातें जो मुझे लगी और मुझे लगता है मैं उनको वापस सम अप करना चाहती हूँ अपने दर्शकों के लिए। वो पहली बात तो ये है कि ग्राउंड पे जिस तरह से आरएसएस सेवा भारती के थ्रू और अपने कई एनजीओ के थ्रू काम करता है कई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जोन्स में, वो शायद उनको क्या कहते हैं, लोगों के करीब आने का मौका देता है, पर वो किसी गार्ड में है, वो कहीं ना कहीं अपने एक एजेंडा को पुश कर रहे हैं। तो ऐसा नहीं है बाकी पार्टीज इस चीज को काउंटर नहीं कर सकती। कांग्रेस जिसके पास खुद का एक सेवा दल था, एक पूरा गांधीयन मूवमेंट था जिसमें से वो उठ के आई है, कांग्रेस कैन इजीली, वो बहुत आसानी से इस चीज में काम कर सकती है और लोगों के नजदीक जा सकती है, और वापस से जो उसकी रेलेवेंस खत्म हो पा रही है, मैं अभी कांग्रेस को राइट ऑफ नहीं करना चाहूंगी, पर हो सकता है कि कुछ सालों में वी कैन राइट ऑफ कांग्रेस। पर अगर कांग्रेस को इससे बचना है तो उसको ग्राउंड पे काम करना होगा। सिर्फ कांग्रेस को नहीं, सारी पार्टीज जो सोशल मूवमेंट से उठ के आई है, वो समाजवादी पार्टी हो, वो आरजेडी हो, वो बसपा हो, सबको ग्राउंड पे काम करना होगा। दूसरी बात जो प्रोफेसर ने कही कि एक डोमिनेंट कास्ट है और एक कास्ट विद इन कास्ट है, जो सब कास्ट का हम कहते हैं कि आपके कुर्मी हैं, आपके तेली हैं, जो शायद कहीं पीछे रह गए आपके यादव्स और जाटव से। तो अब जरूरी है हमको री इमेजिन करना कास्ट को ऑन द लाइंस ऑफ सोशियो इकोनॉमिक। वो हमें अगर अपनी सामाजिक चेतना और हमारी समाज को फिर से बेहतरी की तरफ या एटलीस्ट एक सोशल मूवमेंट की तरफ लेके जाना है, तो हमको सोशियो इकोनॉमिक लाइंस पे इस चीज को रीइमेजिन करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं कास्ट और क्लास में कन्वर्जेंस आ रहा है, जो कि बहुत अच्छी बात है। इसका मतलब मंडल पॉलिटिक्स और रिजर्वेशन पॉलिटिक्स से बहुत अच्छा काम किया अपना। और तीसरी बात जो मुझे बहुत प्रमुख लगती है, क्योंकि ये मेरे पर्सनल उसको क्या कहूँ मैं, मेरी आइडेंटिटी से रिलेटेड है, वो है विमेन रिलेटेड बात। सारे सोशल मूवमेंट्स बिना विमेन के अधूरे हैं। ये आपने किसी भी मूवमेंट में देखा होगा, ये आपका फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल मूवमेंट हो, ये आपका कांग्रेस का खुद का मूवमेंट रहा हो किसी भी तरह का, और बीजेपी खुद का। बीजेपी में 2014 में विमेन कम वोट कर रही थी, पर उनने उस गैप को कम किया 2019 में। तो कोई भी मूवमेंट बिना औरतों के, महिलाओं के अधूरा है। इसीलिए सारी पार्टीज को जो सोशल जस्टिस की बात करती है, उनको ध्यान देना होगा कि कैसे हम विमेन को रिप्रेजेंटेशन, कैसे उनकी राइट्स और कैसे उनकी समानता में वापस उस कॉन्वर्सेशन में लेके आए, ना केवल राजनीति में बट सारे तबकों में, सारे स्फीयर्स में, क्योंकि बहुत जरूरी है विमेन के बारे में बात करना, कि कहीं ना कहीं पेट्रियार्की को तोड़ने में भी कास्ट को तोड़ने का एक समाधान छुपा हुआ है।
सौम्या की बात को हम आगे ले जाएं अगर, तो हम इसको कैसे देखेंगे? दलित, एक अलग पहचान उसकी हो सकती है एक दलित के तौर पे। ओबीसी, अन्य पिछड़ी जातियां, उनकी एक अलग पहचान हो सकती है पिछड़ी जातियों के तौर पे, और उसके अंदर उनकी अलग अलग पहचान हो सकती है दलित के तौर पे अलग अलग जातियों में, पिछड़ों के तौर पे अलग अलग जातियों में। एक अलग पहचान हो सकती है मुस्लिम की, मुस्लिम के तौर पे मुसलमान समाज में पैदा या व्याप्त जो जातियां हैं, जो अलग अलग तरह के एक डिफरेंट सिस्टम्स हैं या बिलीफ्स हैं, उसके तौर पे, उनके सेक्ट्स के तौर पे, फिरकों के तौर पे एक अलग पहचान हो सकती है औरत की, औरत के तौर पे आइडेंटिटी हो सकती है, औरत की एक दलित या पिछड़ी औरत या एक मुसलमान औरत के तौर पे आइडेंटिटी हो सकती है। पर इन सब की एक साझा पहचान, एक कॉमन आइडेंटिटी भी है, इन सब की एक साझा पहचान भी है। वो ये है कि ये सब के सब अपनी इन पहचानों की वजह से किसी न किसी आधार पे शोषित हैं, वंचित हैं, इनके साथ लगातार अन्याय हुआ है। दलित के साथ जाति की वजह से, मुसलमान के साथ शायद उसके धर्म की वजह से, या किसी भी माइनॉरिटीज़ के साथ, माइनॉरिटीज़ के किसी भी तबके के साथ उनके धर्म की वजह से, ओबीसी के साथ जाति की वजह से, सामाजिक अन्याय जिसे हम कहते हैं, भले ही आर्थिक रूप से बहुत सारी जातियाँ मजबूत हों, और औरत के साथ न केवल दलित, ओबीसी या मुस्लिम होने की वजह से, बल्कि उसके जेंडर यानी कि उसके औरत होने की वजह से। तो इन सबको ये समझना होगा कि इनकी इन सारी पहचानों के बरक्स एक और पहचान खड़ी है जो सबके साथ हुए अन्याय, शोषण और उनकी वंचना की है। और उस पहचान के लिए जो हमने आज बातचीत की, उससे एक निष्कर्ष निकल के आता है कि ना केवल ऐसा कोई भी राजनीतिक दल जो अपनी पहचान खोता जा रहा है, उसको ये सोचना होगा कि उसको इस वंचना और शोषण की जो साझा आइडेंटिटी है उसको साथ लेके चलना होगा। इन सबको भी एक साथ आना होगा अपनी उस कॉमन आइडेंटिटी के लिए जो इनके साथ होता रहा अन्याय है। और हमको ये समझना पड़ेगा कि केवल नौकरी में आरक्षण से या शिक्षा व्यवस्था में आरक्षण से, वो ज़रूरी है, वो होता रहना चाहिए, लेकिन केवल उससे बात बनेगी नहीं। उसके अलावा बहुत कुछ सोचना पड़ेगा। पर राजनीति, ये जो शब्द है हिंदुस्तान में, ये एक गड़बड़झाला करता है। ये न्याय के नाम पे आरक्षण का वादा करता है, ये न्याय के नाम पे पढ़ाई में आरक्षण का दावा करता है, लेकिन बाकी सामाजिक रेमेडीज़ ये नहीं अपनाता है क्योंकि वो इसके लिए चुनावी टूल नहीं बन पाते हैं। कांग्रेस ही नहीं, देश की सभी राजनीतिक पार्टियों के लिए एक संदेश है, क्योंकि जो अभी सत्ता में है उनको भी कभी ना कभी जाना होगा, और लौटने के लिए उनको जनता का भरोसा दोबारा से जीतना ही होगा। लोकतंत्र में जनता का भरोसा जीतने के लिए लोकतंत्र में अब जनता का असल में वेलफेयर करने की ज़रूरत है, ना कि केवल चुनावी फ़ायदों के लिए किया गया कोई दिखावटी वेलफेयर। इसी के साथ प्रोफेसर क्रिस्टोफ जफरलो का हम बहुत शुक्रिया करते हैं। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, ये हमारा प्रिविलेज है कि हमारे साथ में थे। बहुत ही अमेजिंग और इंटरेस्टिंग सेशन रहा। मैं और सौम्या दोनों थोड़े नर्वस भी थे, पर प्रोफेसर ने अपनी मुस्कुराहट और अपनी सहजता से जो है हम लोगों को धीरे धीरे नॉर्मलाइज कर दिया। आप सभी का शुक्रिया जो इस शो को देख रहे हैं, इसको जगह जगह तक पहुंचाएं। मुझे लगता है कि ये हम सबके लिए उपयोगी है, ना केवल उनके लिए, उन समाजों के लिए जिनके लिए हम बात कर रहे हैं। ये पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज़ को भी देखना चाहिए ये शो, और एक विद्यार्थी के तौर पे समाजशास्त्र के विद्यार्थियों को देखना चाहिए। और मेरा मानना है कि हम सबको, या तो हम सब समाजशास्त्र के विद्यार्थी हैं या हमको होना है, क्योंकि बेहतर लोकतंत्र तभी बन पाएगा। जात ना जात में अगले शनिवार कुछ और खास लेकर मिलेंगे, मैं और सौम्या।